Hello Mets fans, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a great start to your day. I know I am, because I am pumped because we have a collab like no other that'll be here on the channel right around 5 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure that you guys stay tuned on the channel later to check out that video. Trust me, you will not regret it. It's just about a half hour long, so it's a big discussion and it was so much fun. So I really hope to see you all there. But today we were taking a look at the New York Mets and their approach to the MLB offseason still, and really their third base options, because as we know, they've been keeping tabs and showing interest in so many different third base options out there between free agency and the trade market. But this time I think it was best to take a look at a third base option that not a lot of people are giving enough recognition to maybe having something there, that being a longtime LA Dodger and former New York Met, as we know, and yes, Justin Turner. So that's what we will be taking a look at in today's video. Really a summary on Justin Turner's game. What connection, if any, does he have with the New York Mets outside previously being a New York Met? Could we see a reunion happen in Queens on probably a short-term deal, and everything in between? And as always, guys, make sure you stay all the way until the end of the video for all the deets and all my thoughts on Justin Turner and the possible connection with the New York Mets. And if you guys end up enjoying this kind of Mets content and want to see more great Mets content like this, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button, share this video with your friends, put on the notification bell. It would really mean a lot, guys. Help us get to 2,000 subscribers. We are over halfway there. We're past 1,500 subs, so thank you all so much for the continued support. It means the absolute world. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. Here we have 36-year-old third baseman in Justin Turner. At 5'11", 202 pounds, the righty at the bat and the field, was originally drafted in the 7th round back in 2006 by the Cincinnati Reds. In the 2020 shortened season with the LA Dodgers, and 42 games played, 150 at-bats, racked up 4 home runs, 23 RBIs, a 307 batting average, a 400 on-base percentage, 860 OPS, 460 slugging. In 2019, 135 games played, and 479 at-bats, racked up 27 home runs, 67 RBIs, a 290 batting average, 372 on base percentage, of 509 slugging, and 881 OPS. And throughout his career, 1,114 games played, 3,521 at bats, has racked up 124 home runs, 495 RBIs, a 292 career batting average, a 369 on base percentage, a 469 slugging, and 838 OPS. Turner is a one-time All-Star for the LA Dodgers in the NL back in 2017, and was also the NLCS MVP that same year, and was a World Series champ, as we all know, in the shortened 2020 season with the Dodgers. Alright, Mets fans, I know, wouldn't that be something and kind of odd at the same time to see Justin Turner, the guy who really had yet to hit his peak until after his time in Queens was done with the LA Dodgers, as we know. It would be really interesting, especially a guy at the age of 36 now, more in the latter half of his career, but can still put up the numbers for sure, has been awfully consistent during his time in LA. It's unfortunate that things simply did not pan out during his time with the Mets, but he was really somewhat of a late bloomer at that point, and once he hit the Dodgers, was able to elevate his game to that next level. So when we look at him now as an option for the Mets, is it realistic? I really do believe it's realistic, especially if the Mets are trying to prioritize addressing all holes in their lineup while working with a certain amount of money, because if they really are trying not to say push the $210 million luxury tax threshold, then Turner is a more likely option, because as we know, they've been showing interest in keeping tabs on all these different third base options. We touched on literally all of them here on the channel. I will probably touch on some more going forward too, as they don't feel confident enough in JD Davis. At least that's what it would seem from the defensive side of things. And again, I keep saying this, I know, but JD Davis, I love the guy, no ill will against him whatsoever. I would not be against him being a starter every day for the Mets at third base, but realistically, defensively, he is still not up to par with a lot of the other options out there, either through the trade market and free agency, and that has been evident from how Sandy Alderson and Jared Porter, among others, have discussed the future of what the third base position is going to be for the Mets going into the 2021 season. When you have a guy of Turner's caliber, he has had at least a 290 average in 6 of the past 7 years in his career. That's unbelievably impressive, and even at the age of 36 is a guy that you can guarantee to get him on, say, a 1 or 2 year deal, more than likely a fairly cheap deal as well, in regards to how it would be different versus other guys, whether it's the DJ LeMahieu's that we just touched on here on the channel, or other guys through the trade market, or among other things. So there's a lot of options out there, as we know, for the Mets, but Justin Turner would immediately bring a bat and really help bring things, if you ask me, where I'm not against the idea for the Mets if they really want to get a more solidified third base, even if it's short term, as long as, one, you're not giving up too much money, and in this case, you don't have to give up any assets either, because you're not going down the trade market view. So for a team that wants both short term and long term success, Justin Turner will definitely make your team better. There's no doubting that. Even at the age of 36 now, you cannot go wrong, and to have him and JD Davis kind of maybe split time at third base, I'm not against against that either. You want depth for teams that are trying to be obviously championship caliber, want to work on their defense. Justin Turner brings better defense at the third base, as we know. Even though he is not necessarily stellar, he will definitely be an upgrade at this point in time in a guy like JD Davis for the most part, even at his age. So I'm not against this idea whatsoever, and I want to know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. How do you feel about Justin Turner possibly landing back in Queens for a reunion with the New York Mets? Do you like that idea as a short-term option per se to really help the Mets as they're trying to have World Series aspirations as soon as next season, and if that's going to help them get there by also possibly getting a bigger name either in the rotation or in the outfield like a George Springer, for instance, or a Trevor Bauer? If getting a guy like Turner makes that type of move more likely, then why not go for it, would be my response to it. So if you do a trade for say a Chris Bryant and Nolan Arenado, are these things out of the realm of possibility? No, but you also have to focus on long term. Will they be able to afford it? Only time will tell. So that's what we're going to be finding out within the coming weeks with this New York Mets team. And as we saw, not Brad Hand, the opposite of Brad Hand, Liam Hendricks, as we know, has just signed a deal now with the White Sox, so he's out of the picture in regards to bullpen help. So it looks like Brad Hand is definitely leading the way in that point. Stay tuned, and I may just very well be talking about him very soon here on the channel. You'll have to wait and see. But the Mets are trying to address the bullpen still. They would like to add on in the outfield to get more defensive help, and whether that's a George Springer or Jackie Bradley Jr., maybe a Kevin Pillar, whoever it's going to be, they're looking for upgrades in all holes in their lineup. And if you're going for trying to help that third base position as well, short term, where you don't have to give up assets, then really don't look no further than a guy like Justin Turner. It would definitely be an upgrade on a short-term deal if you ask me. But I want to know your thoughts in the comments below, as always, again. And if you ended up enjoying this kind of Mets content and want to see more great Mets content like this, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button, share this video with your friends, put on the notification bell, all those great things, guys. Thank you again for the countless and endless support here on the channel. Has meant the world. Been having so much fun between doing live streams and just answering all you guys to the best of my abilities and the questions, or at least show comments and showing acknowledgement. At least it gets a little overwhelming at times when I have hundreds of comments at a time, but I love that. Just know that if I'm a little delayed in say giving you a response if you asked a specific question or I wasn't able to acknowledge it yet, it's not because I'm avoiding you guys. It's just simply because I'm busy making content, and these things take hours and hours on end each and every day. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from there. But thank you again, guys. It means the world. Help us get to 2K subscribers, and make sure to let me know your thoughts about Justin Turner possibly reuniting with the New York Mets in Flushing, Queens. Thank you all again, guys, and stay tuned for a major, and I mean major, collab here on the channel at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I'm so excited to get this out. I hope you guys are looking forward to it too, and let's go Mets.